The Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, is the governing body of cricket in India and is one of the most powerful cricket boards in the world. Here are 17 points that explain how BCCI is ruling cricket. Financial power. The BCCI is one of the richest cricket boards in the world and generates a significant amount of revenue from various sources such as media rights, sponsorships, and ticket sales. The board also controls the lucrative Indian Premier League, IPL, which is one of the most watched and financially successful T20 leagues in the world. This financial power gives the BCCI a significant influence on the global cricketing landscape, allowing it to dictate terms to other boards and negotiate favorable deals. IPL, the Indian Premier League, IPL, is the most popular T20 cricket league in the world, and it is owned by the BCCI. The IPL has become a huge source of revenue for the BCCI, and it has also helped the board to promote young talent. International cricket. India is one of the biggest cricketing nations in the world, and the BCCI controls the Indian cricket team. The BCCI's influence over international cricket has grown over the years, and it is now one of the most powerful cricket boards in the world. TV rights. The BCCI owns the broadcast rights for all Indian cricket matches, and it generates significant revenue from this. This gives the BCCI a lot of power and influence over broadcasters and advertisers. Domestic cricket. The BCCI is responsible for organizing and overseeing domestic cricket in India. It runs several domestic tournaments, including the Ranji Trophy, which is the premier domestic cricket competition in India. Player contracts. The BCCI signs contracts with Indian players, and this gives the board a lot of control over them. The board can dictate terms to players, and it can also punish players who do not adhere to its rules. Governance. The BCCI is run by a group of elected officials who are responsible for making decisions related to cricket in India. This gives the board a lot of power, and it can make decisions that affect the entire cricketing world. Political influence. The BCCI has a lot of political influence in India, and it can use this influence to further its own interests. This gives the board a lot of power, and it can use its political clout to get what it wants. Sponsorship. The BCCI has several high-profile sponsors, and it generates a significant amount of revenue from sponsorship deals. This gives the board a lot of financial muscle, and it can use this muscle to influence other cricket boards. Selection process. The BCCI has a lot of control over the selection process for the Indian cricket team. This gives the board a lot of power, and it can select players who it believes will be beneficial for Indian cricket. Infrastructure. The BCCI is responsible for developing cricketing infrastructure in India. This includes building stadiums and training facilities, which gives the board a lot of control over the development of cricket in India. Talent development. The BCCI has several initiatives in place to develop young cricketing talent in India. This gives the board a lot of power, and it can control the development of young players in the country. ICC representation. The BCCI is a member of the International Cricket Council, ICC, and it has a lot of influence over the organization. This gives the board a lot of power, and it can use this influence to further its own interests. Media relations. The BCCI has a close relationship with the Indian media, and it can use this to its advantage. This gives the board a lot of power, and it can use the media to shape public opinion about cricket in India. Fan base. The BCCI has a huge fan base in India, and this gives it a lot of power and influence. The board can use this fan base to generate revenue, promote Indian cricket, and influence the cricketing world. Board structure. The BCCI's structure is also designed to give it a significant amount of power. The board is run by a group of officials who are elected by the various state associations that are affiliated with the BCCI. This gives the board a decentralized structure, with each state association having a significant amount of power and influence. Control over ICC. The BCCI has significant control over the International Cricket Council, ICC, which is the global governing body for cricket. The BCCI is one of the most influential members of the ICC and has been known to use its power to push its own agenda and protect its interests. In conclusion, the BCCI's financial power, political influence, control over the ICC, dominance in world cricket, and its decentralized structure make it one of the most powerful cricketing bodies in the world. The BCCI's influence on world cricket is likely to continue in the foreseeable future, making it a key player in the global cricketing landscape.